The light, a faint blue-white glow that was leaking over the ceiling, caught my attention before the sound. I opened one eye and looked at the time, 3:12 a.m., and for a moment I felt like moonlight caught in the wrong corner. I assumed I might have left the bathroom light on, but instead of flickering like a light bulb, it pulsed, quietly, quickly. I woke up from a screen and reached for my glasses on the bedside, but I blinked instead of putting them on, out of habit. Rather, I sat up gently, and that's when I noticed Maria. She was crouching just outside the bedroom door, angled away from me, her back curled like a cat's around something in her hands. Not hers, but my phone. I didn't say anything yet. I just observed her. She was too preoccupied to notice how her fingers moved, as if she'd practiced the gesture 100 times. Even from my seat, I could see my face flicker on the screen as she swiped, to pause, to unlock. My heartbeat was so rapid it rattled my chest, demonstrating just how clever facial recognition really is. But I wasn't alarmed, because over the years, I had learned the benefits of private wealth consulting. When a thief is in the middle of a theft, especially when you're wondering what they'll do next, you don't interrupt them. I saw the name flash across the top of the container. But she kept it low like a raccoon searching through someone else's cupboard. The screen, BankSync Pro. It's not a travel deal tracker, not a budgeting app. It's the kind of software hedge fund fixers employ, whispered about in forums without actual names. The kind of folks who hide a yacht by flying private and filing taxes in 3 countries, and she had recently installed it. On my phone. She eventually got up, moved quietly to her side of the bed, and slid in next to me, completely unaware I had been watching. She didn't know I was now fully awake, or that the lock screen had flashed just long enough for me to see it. As the parts came together, more quickly than I wanted to admit, she laid her head on her silk cushion and exhaled, sighing, like she'd just dreamed about me all night. I closed my eyes, not to go back to sleep, but to wonder what she took, because by morning, as I passed by her, she was already dressed and drinking a green smoothie. "Hey, babe," she said, stepping into the kitchen. "You slept so hard I didn't want to wake you." Her voice? Too soft, too sugary. I was stunned when she flashed that flawless smile, the one she'd perfected in bathroom mirrors and Instagram videos. "I'm going to the spa for a weekend retreat with the girls," she added, leaning in to kiss my cheek. I nodded, repeated, her words back. "Sent you the details in case you need to reach me," the girls said. I didn't press her to name them, because I already knew she wouldn't, and that's not how you cast someone like Marissa. After she left, I sat at my desk, opened my laptop and told them they had won. Because I made them feel like they were 10 steps ahead, I verified that my actual accounts were untouched. But when I accessed the fake shelf fund, the one I made for an offshore audit 2 years ago, the thought of losing $100,000 made my breath catch. Except, it wasn't $100,000. It was $400,000 gone, like it had never existed. But I didn't panic, because shouting was just a silent confirmation that she'd done it. Marissa. She didn't know I had set up that shelf money for exactly this, a controlled burn, a test account, using a fake structure that looked authentic, with dummy vendor loop transactions. I laughed aloud, staring at the blank zeros. To anyone outside the system, it was real. To her, she thought she'd committed the crime of the century. She didn't realize she'd only stolen Monopoly money. I texted Camille 2 words, from the man who created the board game. 5 seconds later, she replied, "Do I activate? Why?" "Yes," I said, "all of it." I closed the laptop, leaned back in my seat, and felt the contentment rise in my chest, like dawn over a deserted battlefield. This wasn't coincidence. It was a trap I'd set 3 years ago. As soon as I realized Marissa no longer saw me as a husband, but as an ATM in fitted clothes, See, ultra-high net worth portfolios teach you one thing: always maintain a layer between the surface and the truth. The actual accounts were protected by multi-level authentication, encrypted keys, and there was never any real money on that phone. The offshore guardianships? Untouched, because I never logged into them from mobile. Ever. She believed she was clever, using facial recognition for God-level access. All she accomplished was tripping silently. And the best part? I knew she'd come back, with a phony laugh, a new tan, and probably an expensive handbag she just had to show off. She'd pretend nothing happened, or worse, act like I didn't notice. But the real game would begin then, because she hadn't just betrayed me. She'd given me proof of intent, of deception, of stolen funds. And unlike her, I didn't just track income. I build repercussions. At this point, on top of everything else, they were entangled, inadvertent criminals rather than merely amateurs playing house. I drove home with a silent smirk, the kind of look people wear in courtrooms, even when they don't understand the papers in front of them. At my house, I poured myself a glass of scotch, right before the judge's decision went in their favor. But I didn't drink it. Instead, Camille and I sat down in our shared office. The whiteboard still had the next steps mapped out, but the words, "when she trips," were written in red marker across the top, beneath everything. When she booted up her laptop in step 3, Camille asked, "What's the plan?" "If she starts a new account, we copy everything. If she signs a paper, we counter it. If she sneezes, we bless her through her own microphone." Camille arched an eyebrow. "Get Evelyn Cross, my old college friend, now a cybercrime lawyer, known for taking down scam rings and grinning while doing it. I said she gets looped in when the time comes. She owes me a favor." Or 5. Marissa believed she was safe. Just before Camille gave me a cold nod, I grinned. Determined, we spent the next 3 hours creating a digital map of every financial move Marissa made. Every action in her fantasy world was now tracked, mirrored with countermeasures, and monitored in real time. She thought she'd stolen from me. In truth, she gave me complete control over her future. She didn't just lose my trust. She created a contingency plan for herself. I'd recognize it the next time she smiled and said, "You're not even going to fight me." She'd say it again. And she did. "Oh, but I already won," Marissa purred, walking through the shiny tiles Thursday morning, the wheels of her suitcase clacking like nothing had changed. She stood at the front door with oversized sunglasses, a deep tan, and that cocky attitude women have when they think they've pulled off the perfect scam. She looked at me like I was a pair of old shoes, outdated but